Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Adam Bittner, a digital sports producer for the Post-Gazette. I'm here today with our Pirates beat reporter, Jason Mackey, to talk about some Pirates hot stove moves, things that actually happened. Jason, what's going on?
You can't keep the Pirates down, Adam. The minute that bell rings that you can start making moves, man, every time. No, I'm kidding. But look, we knew they were going to address first base at some point this offseason. I did not see them addressing first base this early. I did not see them addressing first base with Ji-Man Choi. I was caught by surprise, as I think you were and probably a lot of Pirates fans are. I still don't totally understand the move. I don't love it, if we're being perfectly honest. I think the opportunity was there to do something greater than Ji-Man Choi, and I don't think it would have cost the Pirates an arm and a leg. I do have a suspicion, though, on why we're sitting here talking about Ji-Man Choi, and that is if you're talking to agents, free agents, trying to get a feel for what guys are going to have, what a feel for the market is, and I'll use names like Jesus Aguilar and Carlos Santana just because they're the easiest ones. I think that's who people maybe hope they would sign. If these guys have other suitors, if they're getting multi-year offers, if they're not going to want to come to Pittsburgh, all of a sudden, what are you going to do? Like, this might be your best available dance partner, meaning Ji-Man Choi, and you grab him and you go dance because you don't want to be there standing alone, and everybody else is out on the dance floor. So I don't know if that's what it is, Adam. That's my suspicion. But there's some things we can pull to like about Choi, but I don't love it.
I've got a lot more questions about that, Jason, but before I do, just a reminder, if you're joining us for the first time, please hit that like button, help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel so you get all of our videos, all of our MLB Hot Stove talk, and our next video, I think, is going to be Sunday after Steelers Saints. We'll have live post-game reaction with Paul Zeiss, so make sure to check that out. And, of course, check the link in the description. You can get 6 months of access for just $6. So that, with all that good stuff out of the way, Jason, I wanted to ask because we spent a lot of time the other day in our preview video talking about Carlos Santana and how he might be a good fit. I looked at the stats real quickly before we started this video, and Ji-Man Choi's stats are a little bit better than Carlos Santana's were in 2021, but Carlos Santana is, I think, a lot more proven commodity over the long run. How do you balance, what the Pirates might have been able to have and a bounce back candidate in Carlos Santana, a guy who's hit 30 home runs, 20 home runs regularly in the majors versus, Ji-Man Choi, who may have been a little bit better last year, but I don't think has quite the same track record.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a couple points that I would make off of that. And we just talked to Ben Cherington this afternoon and heard him explain the trade. And I certainly understand where he's coming at on some things. And one of the points that Ben made was they think that Ji-Man Choi is a good clubhouse guy, good personality, good leader. And he very well may be. But there's also the fact of the matter that one of your best young players, O'Neal Cruz, is Dominican, and Carlos Santana speaks Spanish. I believe he's Dominican or Venezuelan. I don't know offhand, but I mean, like, that's somebody who at least could speak some shred of the same language as opposed to a guy from South Korea, which, again, not saying anything critical of either one of them, but it's, maybe a little bit tough to have that mentor. And I think that would mean something for the Pirates to have that. But just pure baseball performance-wise, Adam, I mean, I think Carlos Santana is a better defensive first baseman, if that's who we're going to look at. I think there's probably a greater power potential. Numbers would bear that out over time. They both have similar approaches at the plate. If we're going to sing the praises of Ji-Man Choi, I guess I would say, like, he does see pitches. He does hit the ball hard. In an ideal world, if I'm going to give you, like, the glass half full picture of, like, who Ji-Man Choi is as a hitter, like, he's going to work counts. He's going to see pitches. When he connects, it's going to be good. He strikes out too much. He strikes out too much for their lineup that already strikes out too much. I wish they would get somebody who, had better bat to ball skills or more consistency with that stuff. So, I mean, like, I guess here's where I come down on, and I think this is probably going to be your next question or one of your next couple topics. Like, if Choi is part of it, cool. I just hope they're not done. Like, I hope they need to bring in somebody else to help the offense, because if Ji-Man Choi is your big ad to fix whatever train wreck that they had out there offensively for 2022, like, that's not good enough.
Yeah, I did want to ask you. I kind of want to get into the bigger picture stuff here in a second, but I did want to ask you too because you wrote in your story that the defensive stats are convoluted.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you a chance to explain that, and yeah, I do want to get into the big picture stuff for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So his fielding percentage is good. And the outs above average, according to Baseball Savant, is also good. And basically, what that is seeking to quantify is the number of plays that he turns into outs. Where Ji-Man Choi struggles is getting to those plays to turn them into outs. Like his range stinks. I didn't look up his range runs, like according to Fangraphs, but it would probably be an interesting study. I can't imagine it's very good. And I don't mean this to lob criticism at somebody at a certain body type, but if you look at him, like he's not fast. That's not how he's going to earn a living. He doesn't move terribly well at first. His arm isn't terribly good. Not that that really matters for a first baseman. I mean, I think of Jeff Bagwell with a hurt shoulder, like still being able to just kind of throw the ball from his ear and make it. But I mean, the Pirates don't strike out a ton. They do have a lot of balls put in play, and we saw what a disaster it could be with Josh Bell over there when you can't turn a 3-6-3 double play. And to me, like if you're the Pirates, you're not going to pay for home runs. You're not going to pay for a guy to do a bunch of like fancy things that end up earning dollars, but you can afford a guy who can turn a 3-6-3 double play, who can throw the ball, who can get routine outs. Like they can't seed routine outs. They're not in that position. So like that worries me about Choi. But I will say again, to clear up the convoluted word usage or whatever, like if the ball's hit to him, he's generally pretty sure-handed with it.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to note. In terms of the big picture, when you say you hope they're not done, do you mean at first base? Do you mean in free agency? I mean, how would you qualify that? Because to me, I kind of look at the $4.5 million that Ji-Man Choi will be making in his last year of arbitration, and say that looks to me like a placeholder move. That they're not confident enough in this team to go out and spend money on an actual first baseman who might actually make a big difference, but he could be better than what they've had, and that makes them better, even if it doesn't make them objectively good at first base. That's how I would read it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean about keep going, right? Like that might be okay. I guess how I would explain it is this. You said the 4.2 according to trade rumors, like his arbitration projection, which is true. But like, let's say we take that 4.2 and they were maybe going to spend 7 million on some stuff or something. I'm just making up a number. But I mean, if you bring in somebody else, maybe it's to play first base, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, maybe they view Choi, he's going to be there, but they're going to give Malcolm Nunez or Endy Rodriguez or somebody who earns a job, an opportunity. And then in the meantime, maybe the backup is Diego Castillo. If saving a little bit of money here allows the Pirates to get an outfielder that they feel a little bit better about so they don't have to shoehorn somebody in here, okay. Like Ben said too today, I mean, they view they view the DH and the first base spot as relatively same. So what if you get another guy like that who costs a little bit less and then you kind of rotate him and then you play matchups or something like that? I don't know. That's what I mean. Like we need full context to fully feel how they think about Ji-Man Choi, but I mean, I just hope it's not the only one move. And I do hope another thing that Charrington said today, Adam, is that they would like to get a major league caliber catcher, which people are going to make jokes about that. But I mean, it's true. They need one. They should have one. Yes, they had one with Jacob Stallings. I hope they just signed Roberto Perez. That'll be the easy one. And you need major league caliber pitching too. So, I mean, if this is the move that helps them do some other stuff, I'm a little bit more okay with it. I would just, like, I have some questions about how Choi hit last year, how expendable he was in Tampa, some of his limitations. But, if mixed in with other moves, I'd be more okay with it.
Speaking of those Ben Cherington comments, you've already written a story that's on postgazette.com. I'll leave the link to that down in the description for everyone if they want to check that out. But could you give us, maybe a summary of what kind of read you got from Ben Cherington today, excuse me,
Yeah.
and where you think things might go from here?
Yeah, I mean, Ben said a lot and unprompted that they would like to continue to add to the offense. Now, he's said things before where we want to, do this or that, and that ends up with like dumpster dives and waiver claims and not actual ads. I would hope that you don't gamble with a statement like that in the middle of free agency starting, where people are looking at you to improve the product, and you're not going to improve the product with everybody else's cast-offs. I get what they're going for there. But other takeaways from Ben, I mean, I guess it solidified it for me, Adam, that they have a type. You know how, like, every guy or girl you're dating, you have like supposedly a type or something. It's like the Pirates have a type. They want the guy that, can either play multiple positions, see lots of pitches. They're okay overlooking defense in some areas, but I don't know. It just seems like Ji-Man Choi is a very, very much a Pirates kind of player. It's almost like Daniel Vogelback with a little better glove. They're willing to like sacrifice one element of baseball playing, maybe two elements of baseball playing. But those are some takeaways, and I hope that they're not done and they do some more stuff, because we all know they need it.
Absolutely. One more for you, Jason. Our former colleague Bob Smizik was tweeting today that MLB Trade Rumors is projecting the Pirates to sign Andrew Benintendi to a 4-year, $54 million contract. Can you give me a percentage chance that we see that? Nil.
All right. Nil. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know where. Trade Rumors is a great resource. I read it all the time. Before I was a baseball writer, I'm like, there's a website that says Trade Rumors. Like, isn't that dumb or unofficial? Now it's a great resource for you, like, looking to read something. They have projections and they keep you informed. But the Benintendi thing, man, I don't get that whatsoever. I don't see that fitting into what the Pirates are doing. And watch, after we finish recording this, they'll sign Benintendi, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I just figured that would be a fun way to wrap up the week. It's been an active week in Pirates world compared to the last month when they've been out of the playoffs. So, Jason, it's been great to talk to you. Maybe we'll be doing this a little bit more if they make some more moves. Thanks for coming on, and good luck tonight. You'll be covering Penguins Maple Leafs tonight in Toronto, correct?
Yep, I'm doing my Bo Jackson duty here in Toronto. I got Penguins Maple Leafs, fly to Montreal in the morning, and that finishes up the trip. So it's been nice to see some of these cities that I've missed in my old hockey writer days.
Absolutely. Well, stay tuned for all of Jason's coverage this weekend. Otherwise, we will talk to you Sunday for Steelers Saints. Again, me and Paul Zeiss will be on here, so please make sure you tune in for that. And have a great weekend, everyone. Should be a pretty nice one after all this rain stops.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed it on Apple Podcasts, please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. For 6 months of digital access to post-gazette.com for just $6, click the link down in the description.